Hey everyone, welcome to this ClickCreate Artist Spotlight. This week we have Carlos Pozo. What words describe your artistic style?
Well, when I first started, I had a blog that I used to call Formal Distortion, and I think that was always kind of like the words that I had in my head when I started doing art with computers or even drawing. I would just take geometric forms and distort them. I do a lot of music stuff too, and in music you have all these effects that you run the signal through, and in my mind what I was doing was kind of like those effects, like distortion, tremolo, delay, reverb, except with a visual form. That was a long time ago, and I think I use formal distortion as a hashtag in my Instagram, and that's kind of like how I feel all my work ties into. And I think those are the two principal words, and I also like to think of my work as being minimalist, even though it's not sometimes obviously minimal. I like to do the most with the least amount of objects and things, and in a lot of ways, a lot of my really complex things are really simple objects that are just rotated, copied in very complex arrangements, which gives you the impression that they're super complicated, but they're not. So for that reason, I think minimalism fits the style too.
What inspires you to create?
Well, I get a lot of inspiration from music, sound. I make music also, but not just music itself, but I'm a big record guy. I own a lot of records. I've been buying records, since I was 12 years old. Records from the 70s, 80s, and the 60s. The packaging itself is so detailed and extravagant, and that was always a big inspiration for me. And in the 90s, I listened to a lot of electronic music, and it was all packaged in these kind of incredible graphic packages. And then the second influence is architecture. I went to architecture school. I worked as an architect, and I think I can't really escape that. I can't really draw or do anything without it looking like architecture in some way. I feel like I'm always making scale models of things. Yeah, I think that kind of will never really change.
What are your goals as a digital artist?
I always, in a way, wanted to create a new world of some sort. I know that sounds kind of cheesy, but I was always a big reader, and I used to read comics and read science fiction. And I'm also old enough that I can remember getting a computer at the office where I worked, and one day somebody saying, "Here, learn how to draw these drawings that we're drawing in pencil with the computer." And once I opened the computer, it just kind of blew my mind. And to me, that was the creation of a new world. And I still feel that excitement with the computer. I don't think I ever got over that moment. We used to use AutoCAD back in the 90s, just drawing, zooming out to this infinite base. I know it's a lot more advanced than that now, but to me, it's still at that stage where it's like a new way of looking at things through the computer.
What advice can you offer to aspiring digital artists?
When I started doing digital art, I used a lot of tools that were free, like SketchUp, which is the 3D modeling software that I still use, and I'm paying for it now. But it was free at one point. And when I saw the things you could do with this software that is free for anybody to download, it just blew my mind, having been through the era when AutoCAD was $10,000 or something like that to buy, and I could only use it because I worked at an office where they bought the software. And I think there are so many free things out there, technologies that are available to everybody. And I think, I feel like I'm a little too old to be learning some of these new things, but young people should be running out there to get all these things and to learn them, because the power that is out there to learn on your own is pretty great. So I would say, take advantage of anything that's available as free right now, because it might not be free forever, but at least you'll learn how to use it and learn a new skill.
What were your goals for this ClickCreate edition?
The digital art that I've done, a lot of it, if I don't post it on Instagram or just show it to my friends, and I make a lot of it. I'm not constantly making things, and a lot of it just kind of stays in my computer. But I do make it so that people will see it. And so the opportunity to have a project where there are people that are already, kind of following the project and they will see it is exciting to me. And so I hope to reach people who don't know my work and get to see some of it.